fiction there. Is Coach Cal with us?
Coach Cal is.
He's the Kentucky head coach joining us. Did you play football, Coach, in high school?
Until I broke my collarbone in 3 places, and I thought I better start playing a sport that's less rough.
Were you any good?
Come on now, you know I was good at everything. Ping pong, softball, baseball, football, basketball. Come on, I was a jack of all trades. I was really not great at anything, but I could play everything. I can throw a football about 35 yards right now, spiral, tight.
That's not that impressive, Coach.
What?
It's not.
I'm 51 years old, and I'm throwing a football 38 yards? Come on.
I'm 64, and I'll throw it 45 yards.
No way.
What do you want to bet?
No way. You'd blow out your knee and a shoulder. No way.
I've already had my shoulder.
They'd have to carry you off the field in pain, and you'd sound like a girl screaming. You're out of your mind.
It is worth something happening, to my shoulder that just to win this bet.
I will let you throw a pie in my face if you can throw a football. I'm talking like an NFL football. Don't give me some little air Nerf ball. I'm talking like a real football.
All right, how far do you want me to throw it? How far do you want me to throw it to win the bet?
You said you could throw it 45 yards.
Okay.
There's no way. Listen, I could. Oh, my gosh. You're crazy.
Okay.
You're nuts. You've always been nuts. You haven't changed. That's the great thing I love about you. You've been consistent in who you are.
Thank you, Coach.
Your whole life. You've been crazy.
Are you only 51?
Said that.
I thought you said you were 51. Are you 61?
What are we talking ages here? I don't care if you give up your age at 64. I'm young.
I just asked you how old you were.
You don't ask people how old they are.
You were telling me how. Let's start this over. He's the Kentucky head coach, John Calipari, joining us on the program. How are you, Coach?
Doing good, Dan. How are you?
Everything's great.
Are we on the air?
Yes.
I thought we weren't on the air.
What did you think of the ACC proposal that everybody gets into the college basketball tournament? March Madness for everybody.
Truthfully, I've spent absolutely no time on it because I never considered it. And Danny Gavitt followed up with, we're not doing that. So, I'll be honest, we got to have a season.
Yeah.
We have to get started November 25th. We have to play non-conference games, especially against some of the smaller schools, Dan, that need the money, and because they play those, quote, buy games, but they need the money. My son plays at Detroit. They need the money. And you could say what you want. Like some of these programs, if we decide to go league only, they'll be done. And if they're not done, they're going to cut 4 or 5 sports on their campus and take away jobs and scholarships. And we got to figure this out, how we all, you ready for this? Survive. The NCAA tournament is vital for everybody, all sports. It's the one tournament that makes money for the NCAA that goes to all the other sports. We don't want to see guys lose and ladies lose jobs or sports. So I'm concerned that. Do we do it in pods? Do we do non-conference games in pods? Do we go to Orlando and play some games? I do know this. We can't have these kids in a bubble for 30 days. Won't work. These kids are 17 and 18, and the mental health issue, the pod should, in my mind, should not extend more than 7-8 days and then go back to campus, take some time, and then go do it again if that's what we choose.
But what are you hearing? What are the possibilities, like legitimate possibilities for a college basketball season in some way, shape, or form?
That's happening. We'll have a college season unless something crazy, that I'm not seeing.
Okay.
We'll have a college season. The question will become, all right, the NCAA tournament, it can move a little bit. It can move back a little bit if we need to. You have to start November because you may have some blips that you need to work through, and we need extra weeks to get ready. I think teams should be able to play as many non-conference games as they're allowed, with no limit. If there's a limit of 12, then you can play 12. If you can't get in 12 and you can only get in 8, because your team got sick or whatever else happens, that's fine. There's not going to be competitive equity. Stop it. Everybody's got to play the same number of games. How do you do that if a team gets sick? We all stop. The whole country stops while they catch up. You can't. You're not. And some teams are going to have stronger schedules than other teams. I just hope we don't leave out the smaller schools that need the financial help from us bigger schools. So if we're doing non-league games, half of them should be, quote, us playing teams and giving them some money to keep their programs going.
He's the Kentucky head coach, John Calipari, joining us on the program. I know you had some, not run-ins, but encounters with John Thompson. I think when you were at UMass, you went up against him. At Memphis, you coached against him. You got a favorite John Thompson story?
Well, I didn't coach against him when I was at Memphis. I coached against him when I was at UMass, and we were in the Elite Eight against Allen Iverson and the boys. He had a heck of a team that year, and we played him in Atlanta. And he, from that game, and I refused to let my guys celebrate on the court. They didn't celebrate on the bench. We won the game, and we all walked down and shook his hand and his team hand, but we didn't cut down a net. And it was our first Final Four ever, out of respect for him. And he figured out what we did, and from that time, he just became, a mentor, a friend. Anytime he saw me, hey, John, he'd scream, in his big voice across the room in the Final Four to come over and sit with him. But, how about this courage that he had? How about he didn't coach a game? He just said, I'm not coaching because this rule, I don't care that it's a rule. It's a bad rule, and we need to change bad rules. This is going to affect black players, African-American players at a higher rate than anybody, and we can't stand for this. And he ends up, being right in what he did, and other coaches joined him, but he was the one that had that kind of courage and not worried about it. He knew what was right. This is right and what was wrong. How about all the players that he coached, the Hall of Famers that he coached? I'll give you one story. I'm recruiting against him. I'm an assistant at Pitt at the time. I'm in Richmond, Virginia. The gym is packed. I think it was John Marshall. I went to watch one of their players. And I'm in the gym, and it's packed. And I'm watching Mom because I want to see Mom's response. I'm trying to catch her eye so I can wave to her. You're not really allowed to speak, and I would never do anything illegal. So I was across the way just waving, trying to get her attention. So all of a sudden, the gym erupted. Like literally people en masse jumped up and started screaming. And I look at Mom, and she's screaming and dancing and waving her hands. And I'm like, what the hell's going on here? And I look over, John Thompson had walked in the gym. You know what I did?
You left.
Absolutely. I left the program. I left my rental car agreement. I left everything and just left the gym. Like, why am I here? What am I doing?
Did you recruit Ewing?
No.
Okay.
I was at UMass at the time.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
He wasn't going there.
If anybody, it would have been somebody on his bench. Matter of fact, Ewing may have been when I was at Pittsburgh. Being that I'm 51, I'm trying to think back. I might have been at Pitt at the time.
You might be 41 by the time this interview's over.
I hope so, man. Hey, they vacated some of my games. Maybe they.
They can take some years off. If they're going to take victories off your total, they can take some years off your life. That'd be nice.
Absolutely.
What is it like for you to watch the NBA playoffs, given every game, every team, it feels like has one of your former players on it?
Well, starring.
Okay.
In the game.
Okay.
Don't just say playing in the game.
Okay.
So, it's really funny to see a Jamal Murray doing the stuff that he's doing, seeing Shea Alexander, seeing Devin Booker, watching Bam and Tyler. I'm hitting those guys. I hit them after games, and I hit Pat Riley and Eric Spoelstra after the game. What they've done with those two, and to believe in them and they're all young. The guys, I'm telling you, Anthony Davis is the one. He's probably 28. He graduated in 2012, 8 years ago. He was 19, so he's 27, 28 years old. These other dudes are like 23.
I know.
And they're doing it. And here's what I would say. To come with us, you got to be built different. And the reason you got to be built different is that you're going to be on our team with other really good players, which means you got to find your niche. You're not going to walk in that league and they're going to run every play, which is guys that we get beat. We're going to run every play. You're going to start. You're going to play I'm never going to recruit anybody. You're going to be the only guy. You're going to play 40 minutes. You're going to do that. Then they go to the league, and all of a sudden it's like you got to fight your way. Other guys out there can play. Our guys learned that.
Yeah.
They also learned if you don't guard, you don't play, which is why you could have never played for me. But we got 3 players on the all-defensive team. 3. That hadn't happened since '77 with 3 UCLA guys coached by John Wooden. There were 3. We had 3. Eric Bledsoe, Bam, and Anthony. And Anthony should have been, as you know, he should have been Defensive Player of the Year. I'm not taking away from Giannis, but that's,
You just did.
No, I did.
And who is the great defensive coach on your staff at Kentucky? Who helps?
It's not me.
I know.
When I was in college, my coach went to a 1-3-1. You know where he put me?
Underneath the basket.
Yeah. Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Until we played a team that put 2 7-footers right next to me and started throwing balls up in the air, and then he went away from it. You know what he did? What defense? His defense was, son, you can't play. You're out. Let's play somebody else.
The 31-year-old John Calipari joining us on the program. Coach, it's great to talk to you as always. And I'll send you video of me throwing the football. Once we can get out and, I'll go to a football field. We'll measure it off. I'll throw it. And then if you will administer a pie to you, how about your wife hits you in the face with a pie or your daughter?
Well, either one would try to hurt me. I probably have. Yeah, and Brad would try to hurt me too. But Aaron and Megan, they just my oldest daughter, she is mean. Oof, really smart girl. Both of them are really smart, but both of them really mean.
We'll just have your wife do it.
No, I'm not going to give her the pleasure. No, it's not going to happen. So why are we even talking about it? I will promise you this. I will go visit you at the hospital as they try to put your shoulder back in or repair your knee that blew out when you tried to step to throw it.
I already have a replacement knee, and I had labrum surgery 3 years ago. I prepaid for another surgery, Coach. It was a 2-for-1.
I knew you were a 2-for-1 guy. I knew it. You went in and just said, look.
It's great to talk to you, and hopefully we'll have a basketball season to talk about. Thank you, Coach.
Bye-bye.
That's Coach Cal. Those are the conversations we have when we're in person or on the phone, not on the show. So that's how it goes back and forth with him.